ఈరోజు మనం డైనమిక్ వెబ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేషన్ ఆఫ్ అండ్ కరెన్సీ కన్వర్టర్ చూద్దాం. యాక్చువల్గా దిస్ డైనమిక్ వెబ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఆర్ ప్యూర్లీ built by using in JSP and servlets. Anyways, you can use of the connectivity of JDBC as well. So today in this video, I'm going to explain you about a basic creation of a dynamic web project. So I was just considering an example of currency convert. Okay. So yeah, let me show you the abstract of what exactly it is. Yeah. So this is what the abstract of my project, currency converter, which is a dynamic web project. This represent an digital currency conversion from one region of currency to the another region. For that, we have used JSP and servlet technologies. Okay. Yeah, so this dynamic nature of this application is underpinned because of this dynamic nature application. It is acting like an digital way where we can convert from one region of currency to the another region of currency. Okay, so this is what the abstract of the project of currency converter. Yeah, coming to the details of it, let's go in detail. For building of this currency conversion dynamic web application, we need to complete installing of this software. First one is your Eclipse IDE, which is an enterprise IDE with combination of Apache Tomcat server that is acting as a server. So Eclipse ideally that is holding your whole JSP files and servlet files. Actually, JSP files in your front end part of the application is holding by this JSP. Okay, so the conversion rate or else the result of what exactly the user is giving in the JSP, the calling of JSP and servlet is what the dynamic application, the message or the data is transmitting from one server or else the one service page to an servlet. So the this service page of JSP is acting like an mediator. So for doing of this, we need to complete installing these softwares of Eclipse ideally with Apache Tomcat server. That helps me for running my application as a pure web browser application. Okay. So this is what the project folder setup organization. So for that, let me go within Eclipse ideally and let me show how it's look. So yeah, this is what the view of Eclipse ideally of enterprise version. You have some options to creation of a project. So if you are not able to get this dynamic web project, you can navigate to other where you can have an option to search. You can directly search of dynamic web project. Okay, you can search that. And this is what our point of Apache Tomcat. This is what I have mentioned before. So this Apache Tomcat, if the Apache Tomcat is not available, definitely it will get affected. So your application is not in a position to and any application web browser lo need conpichadu. So for conversion, you will definitely need to have this Apache Tomcat server. Okay. For that, you need to have an Apache Tomcat in your system, which is installed. Okay, you can directly type Apache Tomcat downloads, where you can download this version of Apache Tomcat in your system. I prefer Apache 10, or else you can download anything. That's not a problem. Where you can download it. Yeah, where you can download it from here by just clicking on it. This will get downloaded. So this is an Apache Tomcat. So you can add this to your system. Okay. So yeah, so that's where you can add this target runtime that's calling your server in your application. Okay. So let me give a name. So our application of currency conversion That's what I am giving here. Yeah, currency conversion. Yeah, click next. So this will give you a structure. That's what I have mentioned in the previous PPT slide as well. So this will immediately give you a structure of it. And click on this generate web.xml file. This will give you an project directory with its structure. Okay. So first step is done. First step of creating dynamic web project is done. So in the next step, you need to create an JSP file. This JSP file is like is acting like your, as I have mentioned previously, this is acting like your front end web page, or as this will stay in your web content directory. In the sources, we have main. Inside this, we have an web app, right? So upon creation of an JSP file, this will be stored there by directly. So you can give a name, or else I was just clicking on finish. So this is what a basic structure looks. And let me demonstrate you. Okay. This is considering an heading tag and pressing I. Just typing hi here. Okay. Yeah, so we have installed Apache Kit 10, right? So you can select this. You can make use of this for running of your project. That will help you to configure your project under an web server. Let's wait for some time. Yeah. Save and run it again. Yeah, we are getting a message of hi here, right? So basically this JSP is considering your form type. So I'm submitting a form of amount data type considering some amount details from which region I'm able to, or else I want to convert the currency from which region to the which region. So yeah, so this JSP file in the body will consider a form tag. So actually this form, everyone knows what exactly is form, right? These are considering n number of fields inside it. I can consider an text data, I can consider a text input field, or else something other. We can consider any fields. Hope you have know what exactly is. You can consider a label here for mapping of your data. So I'm considering a label called amount. So yeah, the user is going to enter his amount version here. That is what it is representing. Let's consider a placeholder as well. Yeah. Enter your amount here. Okay. Yeah. So the user has entered some amount and submitting his details to convert. Anyways, we are going to set that selectivity, right? So before that, let me show you the calling of this JSP and servlet files. Okay. So I'm considering an input type of submit. Okay. And let's run it again. Okay, so I am getting a label of amount where I have an ability to enter some amount of text. There, yeah, this text field can consider this any fields of it. Okay. Yeah, so my JSP creation is done. So let's get back to our third step. So we have completed our 2 steps. In the third step, we need to develop and servlet. Okay. In the third step, we need to develop and servlet of it. Yeah, in the third step, we need to develop and servlet of it. So we are creating a servlet of our currency converter, right? Yeah. So in the third step, I'll right click here. So I need to create an servlet file. So this class name, what you are giving is very important. So this is what your JSP file is calling. Okay. I'm just removing this superclass constructors and click on finish. So this IDE, this E enterprise IDE is giving you some a servlet file or basic template of an how a servlet looks. Okay. So this is how an servlet looks and of some imported exceptions of it of servlets and all HTTP requests and all ఈ HTTP request అన్ని కూడా ఈ servlet లోనే మనం స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటాం. ఓకే. So let me give this actions. Yeah, our JSP action is having an attribute called action. Okay. So in this action, I need to give the name of my servlet. So I have given a name called conv, which is my class name. So this conv name I am giving passing as my form action here. Okay. So the method what I am going to consider is we can consider a get and a post method. So I was just posting the result of what exactly upon. So my conv.java file అనేది నా యూజర్ నుంచి తీసుకున్న అమౌంట్ డీటెయిల్స్ ని ఆ జావా ఫైల్ లో ఉన్న కోడ్ తో కంపేర్ చేసి ఇట్ విల్ పోస్ట్ యూ సమ్ రిజల్ట్. దట్స్ వాట్ మై ఇంటెన్షన్. సో ఈ conv ఫైల్ ఈ conv అనే యాక్షన్ ని నేను పోస్ట్ మెథడ్ కింద యూస్ చేసుకుంటున్నా. సో అపాన్ క్లికింగ్ ఆఫ్ సబ్మిట్ the JSP data will be served to servlet. So this servlet is what our backend data. So I'm for example, I'm converting Indian rupee into an US dollars. Right. So na Indian currency ne nenu US dollars loki marchali anukuntunnanu. I am getting some amount and the user ane vodu vachi amount enter chestunnadu in Indian currency. I need to convert into USD. So that conversion logic and all is getting into this servlets. So the web page or else my web project is getting the logic of conversion in our servlet itself, not in the JSP. Anyways, we can use JSP, we can use both JSPs as well for conversions of data. The normal notation is like you need to use servlet. Okay. So I'm getting the method. I was just giving a method called post. So upon clicking of submit, it will post my result page which actually there in my servlet. Okay. Yeah, let's see in step by step. For let me show you this servlet connectivity. So I have called some JSP file and created a servlet of it. Okay. So there we can enter some amount of something and if we click on submit, the JSP file needs to be served to our servlet file. That's what our main intention. Okay. Yeah. So for this, I'm going to consider some technology. This JSP creation is also an art. యాక్చువల్గా ఈ మనం HTML మనం నేర్చుకుంటున్నప్పుడు ఈ ఫార్మ్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా నేర్చుకుంటాం విత్ అడిషన్ ఆఫ్ CSS. సో నేను HTML లో సమ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ లా నేర్చుకున్నాను దట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ నాట్ ఎనీ ప్రాపర్ ఆర్డర్. నువ్వు దానికి స్టైలింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్ నువ్వు అప్లై చేసుకునేటప్పుడు నువ్వు CSS ని ఇంక్లూడ్ చేస్తావు కదా. సో ఈ CSS ఫైల్స్ అనేవి ఇట్లా దీస్ ట్రెడిషనల్ HTML అండ్ CSS కాకుండా వీ కెన్ మేక్ యూస్ ఆఫ్ అండ్ మోడర్న్ టెక్నాలజీ ఆఫ్ Tailwind CSS యూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ఆర్ ఎల్స్ we can make use of Bootstrap as well. Okay. So let me show you the usage of Bootstrap in our technology. Okay. You can directly type Bootstrap documentation. We are having an official Bootstrap documentation here. So I was just considering this part of code which I'm going to paste in my JSP file. Okay, it is having a link of calling some Bootstrap documentations value and some script. Okay, and let's just check this out. Just refresh page again. It will take some time, I think. Yeah, about to save. That's it. So we are getting this output of hello world. Okay. So let's proceed of creating our form inside this body. As I have mentioned, this form tag is having an attribute of action as well as a method. If you are considering a get method, you need to call a get method. If you are using a post method for this for this example, I'm considering a post method. Okay. So my servlet name is conv that I need to pass here. So I'm getting a, so I was just considering a post method. So I was just calling a post. So the what exactly the data I'm going to enter here is acting like a post to my servlet path, or is this my servlet file. Let's give some title also here. Title is currency converter. Okay. Yeah, let's proceed of giving our form details and all. Let's first create a label called amount. So the user can create an, so the user can enter his amount details. For that input type, I was just considering a text. Okay. Which is an required attribute, right? So we need to type just required. Yeah, I'm getting a label of amount where the user can come and enter his. You can see the it is an required field. Okay. Yeah. Let's proceed with the other tags. So my next tag will be my from currency, because I'm considering a from currency value where I need to convert it to another currency. That's what the intention of this project, right? Okay. So I was just creating a label of from currency. So for from currencies, like I'm having some options, Indian dollars, Indian currency to US dollars and all. For that, I was just considering and select a tag. So where we can, yeah, in this select, I was considering options values. Let me give from, yeah, from INR Indian values to something what US dollars and all. I was just considering these options. It's just giving a name, so I need to enter the value of it and my closed option, right? So I was just copying it and paste it here. Save one, run it again. So from currency is there, but it's actually not good, right? So we need to give some stylings for it. So for that, I'm going to consider an div block, or else let me start with my body itself. So I was just considering a class for my body where my bootstrap will call. So I'm giving an bg white, or yeah, let me just give an bg white of padding 4 for good notations of it. Yeah, inside this we need to call yeah, padding 4. I'm giving some rounded LG of it, rounded LG, and got some content, dynamic content of shadow for medium screens. And the width will be 50. Okay. So I'm just considering this, and let's call the for variable for my amount. So what the basic notation of creating a label, right? Sorry for I was just confused of it. So yeah, and form label, and it's done. Input type text, which is an input type is text, which is a required field. So I can enter my ID of my for variable. I have called a variable called for and my label, right? So the name, same name, ID, amount, name I need to give. The name is also an amount. Just closing, which is in required field. And the class for this will, and the class for this will be my form control in the string. Margin bottom 3 I'm giving for this input type. So I created same way. I need to create this from currency as well. First, for the same from currency also, I need to enter some label for. So this is from currency, and the class is form label. This is form label from currency, and it's done. Okay, it is giving some values, INR and an USD option. US dollars actually. So yeah, let's just copy it and paste for my two currency as well. ఇక్కడ నుంచి తీసుకోవాలనేది కన్సిడర్ చేసుకున్నాము. From there, I need to convert to currency. Currency saying this is in two currency. So this field will be my two currency. So from INR, I can convert to USD. From USD, I can convert to INR. This is what I have considered here. Okay. So let's just save it and check. I'm having a field of it where I can enter my values and some currency rate, currency conversion rate of it. So for all, I need to consider my submit button as well. Okay. Okay, let's give some submit button as well here. Okay. So we are creating an JSP file that is accessing our user information. The submit button is acting well. Let's create a button. Yeah. I'm ensuring a button, and the type is submit. Done. Let's just give some styling to it. Let's just give some styling. Let's call a class BTU. This the usage of this bootstrap is like we can use n number of properties. We can use n number of primarily stored, which are inbuilt stored. Okay, which is an primary version of it. I'm considering BTN primary button. Let me give a name called convert. Let's just run it. So I'm getting. So this is how my front end page looks. So by just calling and CONV path here, anyways, I didn't write any logic. Let's just first see was the data is serving to my servlet or not. Let's enter some 1,100 rupees of Indian currency to some US dollars. Convert. It is serving to my servlet. So the first path is done. So let's just create our servlet page, servlet path. Here we need to include some import statement. You have a note of it, but which are useful. Okay. So one of the import statement will be the print writer. Import Java dot import Java dot IO dot print writer will be the one. And next import. Yeah, we are having some lots of applications here. Wait first. Yeah. Yeah, print writer will be the one, and another, sorry for the delay, and the print writer one, and import Java dot IO of my map. Yeah, I will show you what exactly it is. Import Java dot util dot my hash map functionality of converting means like I want to use an hash map location. Okay. So yeah, that's where my exact data is storing. Okay. I will show you upon clearing of our logic. I will show you what exactly it is. Let's just import some mapping as well. These are all the utility packages. Anyways, we can directly call and import java.util.star asterisk. But let's just see on a step-by-step basis. Done. We've imported the required statements. So inside this, I have already mentioned, right? I'm not going to use this get method. I was just removing off. So inside this, we need to call some prepared statements, which yeah. Anyways, we can call and import prepared statement here as well. Which is calling my SQL connectivity. Can have a no, but it doesn't require. Okay. Done. So let's call that prepared null tutorial. Yeah, let's call and private let's call and private prepared variable prepared statement string and initial having as an null. Okay, prepared statement null. Yeah, as I have removed that get logic, okay, let's move into our main logic of getting some responses from the user. So the user is giving some responses to our web page, right? In our JSP file, the user is giving some responses. So for that, I need to call a print writer PW. I need to call print writer. You can give a name of it. Yeah, so this is getting some response from, yeah. So this print writer is like, it's helping us for getting the responses from the user in the user perspective of view. So I'm having four types of values. One is my amount. Okay. Another one will be my from currency. Let's check what we have given here. Our from currency. So I'm having four variables, right? From amount, from currency, to currency, and then submit value. So I just need to call. I'm just need to call and these values in this logic here. I'm having from currency. Actually, this from currency is like currency from, I think. I'm having four variables. One is amount, and my currency from, and currency to, and my result. Let's give some what exactly the data type of my amount is like. It's an double value, my double amount. Currency from INR, USD, and all are all string data type. Strings. String. And the result is also a double value. Upon completion or upon conversion, the result will also be of double data type only. So let's assign the data. So we need to pass using an get parameter. We need to pass the data as double. Yeah. So inside this, as I have mentioned, we need to use an get parameter. So I'm getting requests, right, from the JSP file. From there, I'm getting the parameter get parameter of what for the amount. I'm having a label for the name of the label has to be given here. So inside my parameter, I'm having, so for amount, I'm giving the name of my label. Let's go back and see. Yeah, this is what we need to give. Amount. Okay. So this from currency and to currency are not like the passing, but we need to get it from the request. Yeah, you can directly make use of request dot get parameter. It's just copying it. Okay. So the variable here for from currency is, the label here from currency is from currency. So we can copy it. So we are taking the data and we are taking the request or the responses from user from JSP file to here. Okay. Hope you are getting what I'm saying. Okay. So this will be my to currency value. Yeah, it's to currency. We need to pass it to currency result as well. Now the resulting value, my converted currency from one value to the other is my I'm going to create this convert currency method down. Okay, or else let's do it first and give the name of. Let's create and private this converted currency. Let's write the logic of this converted currency. currency. So I'm passing the 4 values of double amount. Amount is here. String from currency. From currency. Yeah, these are all the 3 variables. For this, I need to pass the result of it, right? So let's do the logic of it. So for that, I'm considering an populated exchange rates, which I have been with my we need to give some exchange rates of it. So for Indian currency, there is a variable for by multiplying it, we can give the value of it, right? So if I want to convert the Indian currency to some other range, I need to multiply that value with some with a variable. So for that, we need to call this method exchange rates. What I am writing, exchange rates. So we are converting an USD with to an Indian currency or else some other values. For that, we need to map our variable. First, I'm let's considering an USD variable. We have already imported map, which is an key value pair. Map.off. It will consider the values. From there, for my INR, I'm just calling value of 75 rupees. So $1 will be my 75 rupees in Indian currency. So this is how an exchange rate value look. So similarly for the Indian currency, INR, I need to convert I need to give the logic, right? So in US dollars, 1 rupee will be of yeah, we need to enter 0.013, guess. Yeah, anyways, we will check this out upon giving the value. So I'm calling this populated exchange rates method inside my block. So if my from currency value, is equals, I mean, like it is equal to an 2 currency range. Let's take INR. Let's consider INR here. So I was just converting from INR to other. What I need to return amount by exchange rates. And amount by exchange rates dot get to currency value. I'm going to get the two currency value with INR. With my INR range. Okay, this exchange rates need to be called this exchange rates method. And then, so we are just call, yeah, and next else if Yeah, else if. So from here we have considered from currency, right? Let's consider two currency same. So what exactly we are doing here is like converting or converting to INR. So any currency is coming to INR range. Okay. So this else if block is holding that. So and paste. So divide in sense here it will get multiplied with my value. So from currency. Then else you need to perform some other logic. That's what I'm going to return here. Perform if the user has entered from INR to INR, it will return a -1, right? Conversions if both perform the current conversions in both currencies or not INR. Anyways, we are giving the same notation, so that there will not be a problem. Yeah, double exchange rate double exchange rate is equal to my then dot get or default of from currency to my mapping value from currency to my new hash map value new hash map. Okay, so it can call other value as well. Else get default to currency null. It will return in to currency value null. Null. Because from INR to INR we can't do the conversion, right? So anyways, it's just an calling. Yeah. So if the exchange rate, if my exchange rate value, this logic is what you need to look because it's just an just return amount into exchange rate. So that value, that's it. So you will get an option of what it is. No? It's just return. Let's return a -1 and unsupported versions. It's like with unsupported conversions. Unsupported conversions all can be stabilized here. Okay, done. Yeah, let's yeah, we missed the we have missed the notation of declaring this exchange rates. Just do it once now. So I'm just calling a private map, string that is mapping my string data. Double that is giving me my variable of exchange rates. Giving me the rate of exchange rates. This new hash map. And the error will be rectified. The exchange rates error will be rectified. Yeah, the name is capital. So the exchange rates is now defined. Now let's assign the value what we have get from the method called convert. What we have get from the convert currency method. We have defined now convert currency of my amount. Yeah, my amount, the double value. Currency from the above three values are called here currency 2. Done. So this will give us a response of it. So actually what this is doing in a sense, this is this converts the amount based on your selected currency. I mean the range. So you are selecting in currency range of USD, it will select the currency range. It will select that currency. Okay. So now let's set the response. We have get the response, right? So let's set this response of using an HTML only here. It's just giving the type of my HTML file. So for that we need to call my getWriter. So for that I need to call my printWriter again. PrintWriter PW. PrintWriter out. So this is my output HTML file. This is my output HTML file. So response. So this is an output HTML file. So my response dot get response. Yeah. Response dot get writer. Okay. Response dot get writer. Get writer. Not to make it complicated, I'm having a file. Yeah. So this is what we are writing, right? So we are setting in response of content type. So the user has clicked on convert button. So he thought of converting the data. So the converted data is also in an HTML file. That's what we have written. Yeah, I didn't do nothing here. I was just pasting my HTML code that I have already taking. So this is my HTML response to the client. The client has entered the conversion range. So he thought of converting my data. Okay, so he's giving the response. I was just taking the response in the JSP file. That response is served in my servlet data, and the overall view is in the sense, yeah, this is what the flow of execution. Anyways, I'm going to demonstrate that as I have demonstrated before as well. So this is how a person has clicked on HTML submit button, or else here in the convert button, he clicked there. The client is giving some value to my servlet. That servlet file is converted in two phases. The translation phase where my JSP file is communicating with my .java file. That .java file is converted into compilation stage or the phase where my execution process is all moving. Okay, so let's run it and check. So I'm entering 1,000 rupees and I want to convert my Indian currency to US currency. I'm getting a result. Okay, it's about $13.33, and check for another case as well. For suppose I'm having $10, I want to convert into Indian currency. So they are 750 rupees. Done. So this is how our exact flow of system is working. And coming to the documentation part of it. So with the addition of abstract, you can make use of this documentation actually, where I have mentioned all the prerequisites in the first part, and the methodology I followed of creating this JSP files and servlets and using of Bootstrap for enhancing user interface, and the project structure, the execution setup, the environmental setup must have an JDK installed before. Anyways, we just include about this JSP, I mean the Eclipse IDL and the Apache Tomcat, but the JDK has to be there for your Java extensions to run. The future considerations is like we can make use of some public APIs for more exchange rates. Here we just consider some Indian currency to US dollars, right? We can consider n number of ways, euros, pounds and all. And yeah, definitely in conclusion, the currency converter web application stands as a robust solution, showcasing the potential of JSP and servlets in creating interactive and feature-rich web applications. And yeah, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Yeah, that's all from my end. And thanks for watching this video. And as I have mentioned before, I've come from an pack. As I have mentioned, I'm from Packet Prep. For more and more exclusive content and dynamic content, you can subscribe to this Packet Prep website, from where you can have a number of playlists. Actually, this Packet Prep is the largest training and placement company from whole AP and Telangana. You can come and reach at any time. Thank you. Thanks for watching.